on Lena Land, a YouTube channel of for about poetry and stories. We see where words can take us. It's a journey through layers of meaning, rabbit holes of emotion, anthills of thoughts, all couched in words. It's only words. Words are all you need. Hey guys, welcome back to Lena Land. And here's what we're going to do today and often. What we're going to do is we're going to open this book to a random page, any page. Let's see where it takes us. I've heard this before and I don't know where I heard it. Maybe it's in The Secret. I don't know where it is, but I've heard it. That when you're faced with questions in life, you reach out to the book that's nearest to you. You open it to a random page, even if it is a telephone book, and then you find your answer. And I've tried this. And in some way, it works for me. So today I don't have any particular questions. I only want to know where this book takes me. So let's see where it takes us today. I'm doing this right now. I'm opening this book to a random page. Let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Poem number 36. It's called The Drug Addict. Ouch. See, the book is called Wild Things, okay? So, we're not going to find rainbows and unicorns and butterflies inside of this. We are going to deal with issues that make us uncomfortable, that make us think, that push us to the edges of places that we don't necessarily want to explore. But at the same time, it is an empowering book. Underlying all of this almost engineered discomfort is the effort to find a way ahead. And which is why it's almost a disclaimer that I'm giving you before reading out The Drug Addict. I wrote the damn thing, so I know what it says. And does it make listeners uncomfortable? I sure hope it does, because that's the whole point. It makes me sick to my bloated, overfed stomach. It makes me sick to my bloated, overfed stomach. The endless parade of human stupidity. Dirty laundry, laundered lives. Sunlit holidays, moonlit parties. One continuous, unbroken throb of human life at its most superficial. And me, floating along. Jet Sam, float Sam, me. Showing the world that I too am light enough, bubble enough, vacant enough to float along, smiling endlessly. And then there are the vendettas that are played out. Being on a friend's list has nothing to do with being a friend. So many opinions, so many of them so vicious. Death to meat eaters, death to women, death to tree huggers, death to anyone who says anything I don't approve of. I am free, I have an opinion and you are not. Death to you. It makes me sick. So I turn to it some more. Just like the crazed, senseless, hollow-eyed druggie. Who turns towards poison because he can't live without it, knowing full well that he is dying a little more every day with it. Just like that junkie, I die a little more inside me every day on social media. And this video is coming out on social media too. And that's the irony of our lives. Social media. That's the conversation you and I are going to be having today on Lena Land. We're all addicted to it. I want you to be on social media right now and watch me as I read out a poem about social media to you. And I don't see any way out of it. I really don't. Who is this poem for then? Why is it even written? Why is it being read out today? I don't know why it's being read out today, of course, because I just randomly opened this page and the book says to me, hey Leena, confront your own confront your own duplicity. That's how powerful this whole thing is, right? It says confront your duplicity. This video is going to go out on social media. You've written this blistering critique of the addiction of social media. And how do you now move on? And I think that's why I write poetry. I write poetry because it makes everybody uncomfortable, starting with me. And the truth of the poet is also in this poem, right? It says that social media is one continuous, unbroken throb of human life at its most superficial, and me. It's not only others who are being superficial. I am participating in it. I am a part of it. It says, and me floating along, jetsam, floatsam, me. Showing the world that I too am light enough, bubble enough, vacant enough to float along smiling endlessly. How difficult is it for us to put up pictures of ourselves that are least perfect? How important is it for us to hide our imperfections, mask our grief, stow away our sadness, and present to the world pictures of, what do we call it here? Sunlit holidays, moonlit parties. That's all that we do. It's all that we see. And then, of course, there is the other side of social media, which is so vicious. We're all being so vicious to one another. So many opinions, so many of them so vicious. It's insane how we're allowing this to happen. It's insane how we're doing so little to stop it. And that's why this kind of poetry gets written. It gets written not only as a comment of helplessness. It gets written so that you and I do something about it. It gets written so that even if you and I spend time on social media, we make an effort to create conversations that are not vicious, that are inclusive, that are friendly, that are empowering. Is it impossible to do that? It's not impossible to do that. It's just true. It's just true that we are giving in to our worst impulses, and the algorithms are playing into that. Now, you and I have the responsibility of going into rehab. And going into rehab, as far as social media is concerned, can mean walking away completely. But it can also mean being there as people who choose this very powerful act of rebellion. And that rebellion is being kind, being nice, being sensible, being hopeful, being optimistic. In a world that is fueled by division, in a world that is fueled by hatred and anger and viciousness, kindness is an active act of rebellion. And if I am going to make that choice, then I have to understand that I can no longer be jetsam, floatsam, me. I can no longer afford to be light enough, bubble enough to float along on this stream, this endless stream that is designed to keep me floating. And I want us to think about it. So typically with Leena Land and the episodes that we do, we're going to ask, who is this poem for? Who is this poem for? It's for all of us. It's for absolutely everybody. It's for us to pause, choose, and make a conscious decision to act differently on social media the next time that we go on social media. What is this poem hoping to achieve? This poem is hoping to achieve a confrontation. I'm hoping that we will look at ourselves and understand that we are being drugged. This is a drug. And for us to escape the addiction, it's up to us. We have to save ourselves. And it is an act of rebellion. The saving ourselves is an act of rebellion. But just look at that. It says, because we are sick, we turn to it more. That's exactly what a drug addict does, right? So, that's what this says. It says, I am free, I have an opinion, and you are not. Death to you. How powerful is that drug? That I have the space, I have the platform to express an opinion, to show somebody that I am free, and then to lash out at somebody else who has an opinion that simply doesn't match with my opinion. And I'm able to do that anonymously, quietly, from the safety of my own home. And there is no way in which I can be held accountable for it. And that is a powerful drug. It makes me sick. So I turn to it some more. Exactly how a drug addict behaves, isn't it? It makes me sick, so I turn to it some more, just like the crazed, senseless, hollow-eyed druggie who turns to his poison because he can't live without it, knowing full well that he's dying a little more every day with it. Every single day that we give in to this complete madness, we die a little bit inside of our own selves as sensible, sensitive, caring, kind human beings. If we don't stop doing that right now, we die. Our conversations die. Our shared spaces die. Our sense of community dies. Our sense of creativity dies. That's why I think this poem came up today. Because it challenges us. It says, hey, you know what? You're on YouTube right now. YouTube, any other social media platform. That's where you are right now. And what are you going to do about it? Do I acknowledge that there is tremendous good possibility in this shared human experience? Yes, I do. There is tremendous possibility for creating relationships that would not have been possible before. There's tremendous opportunities for people coming together, for people learning from one another. I didn't know that I could ever have spoken to completely nameless, faceless people. Even when I wrote this, perhaps, I don't remember when I wrote this, but when I did, I was not sure that I would be able to actually say this poem out in front of a camera and hope that it reaches people who have never seen me before and who I will possibly never see in my life. So do I acknowledge the great value of these shared communal spaces? Yes, I do. 100% I do. At the same time, I'm saying, do we need to relook at how we are using these spaces? 500%. We need to relook at what we are doing with one of the greatest gifts given to mankind. The gift of shared space. It's massive. And if we're going to use it to turn on one another and viciously wipe out each other's voices, we are doing this wrong. Can we do it right? I most certainly hope so. Can we start today? I most certainly hope so. Hope. That's what Lena Land really is all about in many, many ways. It's about telling these stories that hopefully will change our human experience for the better. And that's why I think this book opened out to Drug Addict today. The Drug Addict. That's what I think we need to look at in the mirror today and acknowledge. I think that's what we need to change. Being good is an act of rebellion. In Lena Land, that's the hope. Hey there, people, if you've enjoyed this word work, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, you are always welcome on Lena Land.